Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So Bitcoin is kind of stagnant today. And I do believe calm is before the storm. Right now, Bitcoin is in that calm, and the storm or avalanche or hurricane or typhoon is about to come. And it could be tomorrow. Yes, that's right, because Bitcoin futures ETF is debuting, and it's not the only one. There's several others that's coming back to back to back to back to back, and there's so many coming, and many are thinking this is very positive. So let's discuss what's going on with Bitcoin. Also, one analyst has come out and said that this is a monumental event. It could drive Bitcoin up to $168,000 by the end of the year. Let's discuss. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome. It's kind of boring today. Kind of boring, but that's okay. Boring is good. So you can see Bitcoin is still sitting right around 62,000, and everyone is waiting for the next move. Bitcoin had a little bit of volatility over the last few days. The whales or bears try to drop, and the bulls are like, nah. Let's keep going. And you can see here, there was a big drop all of a sudden to like 58, 59. Here's a big drop down to like 59, 60, right? And since then, Bitcoin has just making higher lows and lower highs. So it looks like it's in a wedge. It looks like there's a wedge forming on the 15-minute scale. So what does that mean? It just seems like Bitcoin is ready to rock. It's ready to move, right? And it could be because of this. Bitcoin futures, ProShares futures, ETF is going to come out tomorrow. Even though this is a futures-based ETF, there's a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation, and there are some estimates that this could bring in $50 billion within the first year alone. And that $50 billion could definitely move Bitcoin up in a big way. So I've been talking about this. I'm sure you guys have heard other people talk about it. Bitcoin futures ETF is finally here, and it's coming. Now, I said it's not the only one, because you know what? Valkyrie also has one. And look at their symbol, BTFD. That's an awesome symbol. They are going to come out on Wednesday, a day after. Wednesday or Thursday. It's not going to confirm yet, but it's one of the 2 days. So after ProShares, you're going to have another Valkyrie come out. And then there's others, Invesco, and so many others that are just piling on one after another. We're going to have an avalanche of futures. And I do believe this is going to bring in so much money into the space. So much awareness. Everyone is going to want a piece of Bitcoin. And if they can't get it directly, they're going to get it indirectly, at least with futures ETF. And we know right on the heels of futures ETF is spot Bitcoin ETF, including Grayscale and others that filed already. Who knows? That could be right around the corner too. Now, here's the interesting thing. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Bitcoin futures ETF. I wanted to get an opinion from others, whether or not this is a good thing, it's a non-event, it's a bad thing. Like what do other people think about it besides me? Well, I started looking up, and Fundstrat analyst and CNBC analyst Tom Lee says that Bitcoin futures ETF is a fantastic thing. It will attract $50 billion into the market. And he says, to quote, We think Bitcoin demand will exceed the inflows for QQQ. He was referring to the Invesco QQQ Series 1 fund, which tracks the NASDAQ 100 equity index. That 2-decade-old fund has more than $188 billion in assets and ranks as the 5th largest ETF. So Tom Lee expects this ProShares Bitcoin futures ETF to be as big as that QQQ investment ETF, which is one of the biggest ETFs out there in the United States. That's how big he thinks this is going to be. And this is just from one ETF, not counting all the others. And based on the 50 billion that he predicts is going to come in, he believes that Bitcoin will be triggered and rally up to $168,000. $168,000 just from futures alone. This is not counting everything else. All the on-chain metrics I've been showing you guys, all the fractal patterns, how this is similar to 2017, 2013, right? It's none of that. It doesn't take into account the massive interest and buying that's going on. Just simply based on futures ETF and the 50 billion that's going to enter the market, Tom Lee thinks that this could catapult Bitcoin up to $168,000. So, not just from me. This is from Tom Lee, fund strat analyst, CNBC analyst. You take it with a grain of salt, obviously. Sometimes, if you're a contrarian, you want to counter trade what CNBC analyst says. But Tom Lee has been around the space for quite some time, and he is a Bitcoin bull. He kind of got caught off guard in 2017, but he remains a Bitcoin bull, and let's see if this is correct. Couple super chats. Young is still talking about poker. Great. Sergeant Max says, I took out a 40K loan to become a whole coiner back in February. Thoughts on selling my BTC once we hit 80K to clear out my debt and just DCA back in? I can't say that's a bad plan, because if you plan on selling to clear your debt and you're debt free, basically you're halfway there to financial freedom, right? Basically you have no liabilities, and then whatever you put in as DCA, that could definitely work. So I don't think that's a bad plan, right? First of all, as an investor, you're not supposed to invest with what you can't afford to lose, right? And if you have debt, that's definitely something that is very concerning. All right. So with that said, what else is there? Well, I saw a couple other super chats just come in. Can this be the case? Buy prior to announcement, sell off the news, right? If that's the case, we will be selling off right now, because if a lot of people think that tomorrow we will dump, and who knows, maybe it will dump tomorrow. But a lot of people have been through this. A lot of Wall Street people have been through this. And if they really thought this was the case, I believe yesterday and today, Bitcoin would have dumped already, because no one's going to wait until the day of to sell when things are dumping. So I don't believe this is the case. And I don't believe this is the case also because we're not anywhere near top. If Bitcoin was at 250,000 right now, before this event, I would say yes, it's probably go dump. But we're nowhere close. We haven't even formed a new high yet. So I just don't think that's the case. Turner, appreciate that. Walter asks, VThor moves when VET price moves, but VThor moves more. In 2021, yes, why not buy VThor? Because it's not always the case. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And VThor is inflationary, VET is deflationary. So there is a fundamental difference there, Walter. All right, now moving on. What else? Institutional managers hold a record $72.3 billion. On the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. That's chump change. When the entire market cap is about $2.5 trillion, although the market cap does not really necessarily mean there's $2.5 trillion into the market, but we know there's some big money in there, and the institutions are only getting started. $72.3 billion. Think about it. Tom Lee just said just from one Bitcoin futures ETF can bring in $50 billion into that ETF alone, right? So right now, even though this number seems like a tremendous great number, this is going to double, triple, quadruple, tenfold within the next few years. And as this number goes up, overall market, Bitcoin, crypto is going to explode in a big way. And this is why some people think that a 4-year cycle is going to be gone. This is going to be a last 4-year cycle. Not that it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because we will just continue higher and higher and higher and higher. We'll have small corrections along the way. But as more and more money comes in and this new asset class becomes a definite and true hold with these institutional managers, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And case in point, look at Carl Icahn. Not that he's the most, I would say he's definitely one of the most well-known investors out there, but sometimes you can argue his methods are unethical or unmoral or just plain shady. But anyways, even Carl Icahn sees that Bitcoin has potential. And he says that if, in the long run, we're going to hit a wall in terms of equity markets and everything going up, and inflation becomes a real thing, then Bitcoin is going to go up. It's going to be very valuable. So even Carl Icahn now recognizes that Bitcoin is a store value, is a hedge against inflation, right? So like right now, it's really hard to argue against Bitcoin. I mean, other than if your name is Peter Schiff, I mean, everyone else literally just recognizes now that you can't say bad things about Bitcoin. You just really can't. But Scott Minerd, Guggenheim CIO, is so confused about Bitcoin. Now he says he's entirely out. Scott Minerd is one weird guy. Chief Investment Officer of Guggenheim, one of the biggest asset managers out there. I've made fun of him in the past because he tweeted out a couple times on Twitter warning people about Bitcoin going down. When Bitcoin was like 30,000, he warned people that it was going to go down to 20,000. When Bitcoin was 40,000, he warned it was going to go back down to 10,000. Like, he kept giving dire warnings as if he wanted to drop the market. But he also predicted that Bitcoin could go up to 400,000 before, or 600,000. He's all over the place. But he turned very bearish because I think he wants to drop Bitcoin and add to Guggenheim's funds. That's my theory. I can't prove it. But now he says he's out completely. And he doesn't know what's going on with the market. He just doesn't know because it doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that. I think he just thinks that it's too high to buy at 60-something thousand. That's my honest take. I don't know. But you know what? I think he's going to FOMO in. Him and many other CIOs and fund managers, they will FOMO in. After 100,000, there's no way that these guys can ignore Bitcoin. There's no way that they can ignore Bitcoin. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Geo says, George, I'm up 104% on Storm X. Wait, is that Storm X? I don't know what STX. Let me check. Stacks? Stocks or stacks? Probably stacks. I think it could be a 5X. What are your thoughts? I'm not a fan of stacks. And that's because it's trying to build DeFi on top of Bitcoin. I know people like, Bitcoin Maxis and Michael Saylor likes to think that that is the best choice for DeFi, but I don't think so. We already have Ethereum. We already have other chains that can do it already and do it better. So not a fan of stacks. Cardia chain, I worry about competition that eats his lunch. You don't have to worry about them eating their lunch. They're already much bigger. Cardia chain, they have to prove themselves, right? They're one of the many new promising blockchains out there that claims to be fast, efficient, feeless, but they have to prove themselves whether or not they could get the adoption and traction needed to become one of the bigger players. Like, case in point, Harmony. Harmony has some big news. Aave just moved to Harmony, right? And Aave's been expanding a lot. Yesterday, I think they moved to Phantom, but they're now moving to Harmony. Also, Curve Finance launched on Harmony already. SushiSwap launched on Harmony already. And many others like Viper Swap and Mochi Swap, they're already on board. So a lot of projects are coming on board, and Harmony has a $300 million plus for bounties, grants, and DAOs, right? So pretty good, pretty good. This is one of the ways that chains can grow, basically offer these incentives, but also how they kind of, you know, stand apart or get out of the shadow of Ethereum is to just build up the ecosystem, and that is what Harmony is doing. So that is fantastic. That's pretty much it. Just want to concentrate on those things. Overall, market kind of in a standstill right now, waiting for Bitcoin to make its move, right? Still hovering around that 62,000. We keep going up and down, up and down. But this volatility seems to be like really, really dying off. So what is Bitcoin's next move? We're going to get that big pump up tonight or tomorrow, right? I think this week is going to be good. I think we're going to make that new high, right? But I know a lot of you guys are thinking, well, this could be a trap. Wall Street's going to dump Bitcoin. But I think right now, honestly, every single entity out there, besides retail investors. Here's the funny thing. Retail investors, they're not FOMOing in Bitcoin right now. They will, but right now, they are not. That's the funny thing. Retail investors have not FOMOed in Bitcoin. And after we start making some new highs, I think that's going to change. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right. Matt Bender asked about Monero. I'm neutral on them. You know, they're in the privacy space, but exchanges are going to delist them, so I'm not a big fan. TechView asked about a whole bunch of tokens. Zcash, Litecoin, Dash, OMGs. Okay, I can't tell you what to do, but I like, let's just put it this way, I like Bitcoin over all the ones that you listed. Which sites can I use to buy crypto in Texas? I have eToro and Coinbase. What else is there? That's a good question because Texas is very strict and they ban a lot of exchanges. So I don't know. I think Binance.us is banned. Gemini's banned. I don't know if Voyager's banned. You know, you could look at Uphold, Gate.io, and also KuCoin. I'm pretty sure KuCoin is open, so check them out. But the other ones may be banned. Texas is really strict, just like New York. James asks, would you take profits to be 100% debt-free or convert to stable coins to buy in a bear market? I would always say, I would argue, pay off your debt first, okay? If you're going to take profits, pay off your debt, right? And then concentrate on DCA or buying the dips in the bear market. You know, the debt-free, that's a big thing. You don't have to pay interest. You don't have to worry about it being a liability, right? It just overall, it clears so much for you, right? Obviously, if you still have a position in Bitcoin or crypto, that's the best. But honestly, I say paying off the debt first is more important. Geostone, thank you. How much money into crypto does one need to become a millionaire? You can't answer that. If you had, you know, I think Bitcoin itself will probably do a 3x, right? That means if you had 300,000, it probably could happen. But some of these other altcoins, you know, they could do a 5x, 6x, 7x, 10x. So that means you have to have a lot less, right? So that's the safe way to do it. If you wanted to like just buy lottery tickets and buy all the meme coins, maybe you could become a millionaire much faster. But you're taking a risk and there's no guarantees. Where with Bitcoin and these others, they're a lot more stable and more trustworthy and less likely to be rug pulled. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Scrolling down. A lot of PTSD with El Salvador news. I don't know what you mean by that, football. If we never had that 50% drop back in July due to Elon energy usage, China FUD, will we have been at a higher price right now? Theoretically, yes, but it's hard to say, right? Because we were going up so fast, you know, there may have been a correction anyways. But I do think the biggest thing was the China FUD, was mostly because the miners were kicked out and they had to liquidate. I think that's what made it 50% and made us stay like at that, you know, that level for months. If it wasn't due to China kicking out the miners, I think the Elon, you know, FUD, the ESG stuff would have just passed really quickly. So, yes, we had to live through that, but just keep this in mind. Bitcoin is so much better for it. So much better. This notion that Bitcoin was not decentralized, was mostly, you know, located, most of the hash powers in China was true. Now it's not. Now it's spread out across the world. So yes, we did have to live through that, but we're better off for it. Much, much better off for it. All right. I'm up on 300% on SHIB. Would you take profits to increase? Yes, you should. Okay. If you're up so much on SHIB, congratulations, right? But make sure that you still have a well-diversified portfolio, because when Bitcoin pumps, when it pumps really hard, everything stalls out. And SHIB, as good as it is, asterisks, Bitcoin and others are better. So, yes, I think you should diversify. Are you going to retire if BTC hits 250,000? I mean, yes and no. I can honestly retire right now. I don't have to work another day in my life, and I would be totally fine. I am set. My kids are set. But you know what? You know, I kind of enjoy this, right? I like the hustle. I like to continue educating you guys. I feel especially with the good days, I feel the emotions. Bad days I do too. But I may take them easier. If Bitcoin hits 250,000, right, I'll probably cut back some of my streams. Just take it easier so that I'm not working as hard. But I don't think I'm going to retire entirely. It'll be too boring. You know, you can only travel so much. You can only buy so many things. And then your life will get boring, right? You have to do something. You have to do something. I'm telling you, in regards to the second thing I just said, like buying stuff gets boring. I tell you, buying stuff gets boring. It's like you know, just to share a little bit with you guys, like, you know, there's so much stuff that I used to want, now I have, and now I have nothing to look forward to anymore. Honestly, that's the thing. When you have a lot of money and you just start buying everything that you ever wanted, and now you have it, it gets really boring. So you have to figure out what to do, what gives you enjoyment rather than just buying things, and that's really hard. You guys will get there and know what I'm talking about. Thoughts on Zilliqa? They've been hanging around. They've been hanging around. So I think they're doing okay. They're doing what everyone else is doing. Right now, it's just a matter of getting more attention, more dApps onto their chain. Fern Dog, appreciate it. Held since 2017, made a lot. Now I'm freaking out. Not sure what to do. Why are you freaking out? Just make sure you do your taxes appropriately, right? I think that's the biggest thing. Make sure you do your taxes appropriately. Figure out, you know, you should probably take some profits. Make sure you lock in some of those profits, right? And then you're pretty much set. Make sure you secure crypto, lock in some profits, have some on the side, and get a good tax guy. That's really it. But I know the feeling. What's the best way to sell a big bag without potentially crashing the price of a coin? You do it in increments. You spread out different exchanges. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes there's nothing to do. You have a big bag. There's not enough liquidity on the DEX or on a centralized exchange. It will crash. So you just have to be patient and sell slowly. When doing a wash sale, do you have to wait 1 day before buying back? No. According to what I know, no. You could buy it back immediately. But check with your accountant. Check your accountant. But as far as I know, you could buy back immediately. Antonio, thank you. Could you look at Koob's Coins page and give us your thoughts? I saw it mentioned. I have no idea what that is. Kobo? I'm going to skip it. George Ramsey. I don't know what that's referencing. People say go buy more Legos. The problem is my Lego room you guys saw. I have no space for anything. So I could buy all the Legos in the world and I couldn't. First of all, I have no time to build it. And second of all, I have no place to put it until I get my new house. So it's one of those things. But I love Legos. Here's the thing. I like going to the Lego store more than my kids because they have so much Lego sets. I keep forgetting Lego is both singular and plural. They're like, I kind of spoiled them on that. Buy land? What am I going to do to that land? I do want to get into real estate. You know, that's something that I want to do. I feel like there's something about everything virtual, like almost it's like not real until you actually buy something physical. There's something to that. So I do want to get in real estate. So I'm thinking about creating a real estate company, possibly with my buddies, and do what Grant Cardone is doing. Just, you know, get into multifamily units and using the cash flow and keep accelerating and buy another unit, buy another unit, buy another unit. Right, but right now real estate is really hot. It's everything very high, so I don't know if it's the right time to do it. Texas is a pro crypto now. I know it is sort of, but not for exchanges. There's so many exchanges that still is not open in Texas. Tony says, reminds me of 2017. Should we go on DentaCoin? I wonder if DentaCoin is still around. DCN. Oh, good. 2017, DentaCoin was multi-billion. And I'm like, how can it not go down? These dentists must have diamond hands. Even in 2018, 2019, when the market came down, DentaCoin was still sitting at like a 500 billion market cap or whatever. Or no, 500 million. I'm glad to see that finally it's over. When are I gonna go on Yahoo again? Pretty much anytime. They're trying to figure out. What I asked them is, they put copyright on all their videos. So when I get my clip, you know, I want to replay it, and then I couldn't because there was a copyright on it. So they're trying to figure that out. But I like to go back. No rush. Whenever they want me back, I'll go back on. And Intel on Cardano DEX to be the first to launch, I have no clue. Sunday Swap, you know, they put a blog out like a month ago saying we have this solved, we have no problems, but I don't know why it's taking so long to be released. So all we need is one full-fledged DEX/AMM on Cardano that works, and that'll be it. It's golden. And then you have Nervos that has their bridge ready to Ethereum. They form a bridge to Cardano. Boom. So now you have ERC20 tokens within the Cardano's ecosystem. and everything is working, right? And then Cardano will again start climbing again. But right now, people are like, you got to show us. You got to show us that it works or it can work. And that's the thing. Rob actually severed ties with Voyager. In DCA, he revealed that Voyager is too backed up by too many cases, and he has cases, and they're just not like really answering or keeping up. So he said he kind of severed ties with them. Not that he severed ties with the project, like he hates the project, but I think he's no longer, you know, an affiliate of theirs. I don't know. I think he said that, but anyways. First George problems. It's kind of true. It's kind of true. I don't need to buy Legoland. I have my own Legoland. Have I heard elongate? Yes. I'm not going to talk about it. I do have Lego flowers. They were very hard to get before, but I have them now. I actually just bought their new set. They have a guitar set, and they have several other sets. They always release new sets. It's crazy. I mean, they have so many new ideas, and they re-come out, you know, with old sets. They're really on top of things. Lakers versus Nets. Lakers win. Lakers win for sure. It's a done deal. Unless LeBron and AD both get injured, they're winning. UMA and Mana. I'm not a fan of UMA. Mana, I think they have potential. I think anything in NFTs have potential. Sheeb's play to earn game coming out. I haven't heard that. I know they're trying to get into payments and then introducing coin burning. They just released their NFT, but I don't know about the play to earn game. All right, last few questions. How do you feel about Coinbase vaults? I have a considerable amount of assets in the vaults and want to get your opinion. Coinbase Vault is about as secure as they come. I mean, all the institutional players that buy Coinbase, buy BTC from Coinbase, where do they store it? In Coinbase Vault. I'm pretty sure 100% of MicroStrategy's Bitcoins is in Coinbase Vaults. It's about as secure as they come. So I think you're okay. The only downside is you have to wait, 7 days to withdraw or something like that. So that's the only thing. ADA prediction, end of the year, I think it's going to be $10 plus. $10 plus. If the total market cap is the same as in May, why are altcoins down? Where did all the money go? Went into Bitcoin. That's where it went. And the altcoins aren't down. If you look at some of these altcoins compared to May, it's actually a lot bigger already. Some of these numbers from all-time high is not from May. It's actually from like a month ago. So you got to realize a lot of these are much bigger now than they were in May. Like, for example, Solana. So yeah, they're in altcoins, some altcoins, and Bitcoin. Any thoughts on VET partner with DHL? It's a DHL NFTs. It's a step in the right direction. I think VET doing more retail stuff with NFTs could help boost its price, but ultimately, it's just an NFT play. So not terribly concerned about it. Or impressed by it, I should say. Can you comment on Pink Note? I have no idea what that is. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, Bitcoin is going sideways, stagnant, 62,000-ish, right? We will see what happens tomorrow. Okay, many people, including Tom Lee, a fun strat, think that it's going to bring this Bitcoin, very first Bitcoin futures ETF is going to bring an enormous amount of money into the space. I think it will too. I think it's going to bring a lot of attention, but who knows? Some are speculating, worried that maybe Wall Street will try to utilize it and manipulate the markets. We'll see if that's true. All I do know is Bitcoin futures has been out for 4 years, right? So the volatility has really died down since its introduction, and this is based on Bitcoin futures. Also, we have so much more that's coming to Bitcoin and so much more buying. And let's not forget, we're in the last 3 months of this year and the last 3 months of this bull cycle. So I anticipate things will be very, 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 very good in the next 3 months. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.